Gestalt Wellness Institute was founded in 2012. I created Gestalt Wellness Institute in the thought that I would like to bring mental health and Gestalt therapy here in the Philippines. We created a space where they can be safe, where they can express themselves, where they can be empowered and help themselves. And I believe that with this capacity that we have, we will be able to help more people, especially those who are going through things that not everybody can understand. I hope that whatever you are feeling right now, wherever you are, and however you're feeling, we'll be able to reach out to us and lend you a hand to find a place where things will get better.
Hi, my name is Sael Narvas, or you can call me Sael. You can actually be yourself here and they still will support you. Whatever, whoever, or wherever you are.
I'm Janice Habagat. The people are very warm. For some reason, I think it's because they are also happy with their work and it affects how they treat other employees as well. So how they feel about their work, how they treat others also is a projection of how happy they are with their work.
My name is Denis Villanueva. This is where I've first experienced to travel alone internationally. They posted my face into our vans as well, which my colleagues, my friends would really take a selfie that they have someone famous running around the city.
I'm EJ Cuevas. Nakaka-proud yung teammates ko because napaka-collaborative nila, very passionate and creative. They're making my job so much easier. They inspire me to be the best version of myself.
My full name is Azel Joy Alfredo, but they call me Joy here. Looking back 5 years ago, I was just that little girl who is so quiet, always afraid of failing. But now, I see the progress. I see how I've become because of smart sourcing. Yeah, I feel so proud about that.
Hi, my name is Joe. Have you ever had that feeling where you're having a very bad day? Nothing seems right? Whenever I feel that way, and when I arrive here in Smart Sourcing and meet the people, your day instantly changes. It's like that for me, every day. That's how lovely it is working here at Smart Sourcing.
Hi, I'm Dodgelin Dandan. I want to highlight how very appreciative they are and they really listen to what you have to say. Work for me is very cool and it's exciting. When I wake up every day, I look forward to working.
Hi, my name is Mitch Lariego. I'm a team lead. Every time you start working, it's not a burden. Like every day you're not going to drag yourself go to work. It's just like you're going to have that feeling that you're happy going to work every day.
I'm Hervin Jantihano. Nakita dyan ako unsa sila ka kugihan, naghuna-una sila mga kauban, ila yung gihatag tanan ang ilang best.
I'm Aya. I'm the art director of comms and creative team. First thing comes to mind, it's basically how I get to co-create with my teammates. I get to have this happiness and gratefulness and joy, have fun and be productive and always know your purpose. Apparently, I found my purpose here at Smart Sourcing.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Hope TV, where we feature stories from diverse individuals from different walks of life and how they step up to various challenges. This episode is brought to you by JCI Cebu, Gestalt Wellness Institute, and of course, Smart Sourcing for this amazing place we have, Chen. I'm your host, BG Montormoso, and still joining us here tonight is our resident mental health expert, Brother Philip Chen Tan. Good evening, brother.
Good evening, bro.
From Gestalt Wellness Institute, and two special guests who will be introduced in a little while. Our topic tonight for this episode, Out and Proud Special. Because this month of June, we are celebrating the Pride Month, which commemorates years of struggle for civil rights and the ongoing pursuit of equal justice under the law for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community, as well as the accomplishments of LGBTQ individuals. Now, Brother Chen, let me ask you a question regarding our episode this evening. As a psychologist, of course, practicing psychologist, and a mental health expert, have you experienced someone seeking for your professional advice when it comes to dealing with their struggles of their gender identity?
Right. Thank you for the answer, bro. Akong tubag ana, no? Daghan jud ka o mga clients na ako nagtapang that are part or under the LGBT community, no? And of course, apil sa ilang problema, trying to determine their gender identity, no? Because dili man na maong common daw or normal matud pa sa uban. And daghan sa sila mga problema tungod sa discrimination, or perhaps having less privileges kumpara sa ilang mga straight peers. And you know, because of that, vulnerable to sila to certain mental health challenges. Grabe sila o anxiety and depression and so on. So yes, daghan jud sila, bro. Thanks for asking.
These people experience various social stigma, social discrimination. And right now, this episode is very special because I really want to learn more about this, about LGBTQ rights, their situation in the community, and how the state recognizes them as an organization. I'm quite excited to learn more, especially now it is fundamental for us to shed light and spread hope on mental health for the LGBT community. Without further ado, are you excited for the first guest? Yes, me too. Let me introduce you our first guest this evening. She's a social media personality, a theater artist, and a content creator who believes that the whole point of celebrating Pride is not about giving the LGBTQIA community special rights, but rather to normalize their existence. And to celebrate that, we all coexist. Please help me welcome Miss Alem Garcia in the house. Welcome, Miss Alem, to Home TV.
Hello, Lisa, to mga viewers. Thank you for having me, Gigi and Chen. I'm very, very excited to be here in front of everyone.
Yes, of course. It's a pleasure having you here. Kanilang ba? You have this famous catch kind of phrase. Ganahan mo padunggan from you.
Ay, wow. Sasabihin mo, kata lang.
Sige, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Like, sukandi!
Our second guest is a beauty queen and a writer. She used her title as Miss Tourism Talisay 2017 to break barriers and serve as a role model to be an advocate for the LGBTQIA community. A virtual round of applause to Miss Janice Marsada. Welcome, Miss Janice, to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure, and I'm really happy to be here. Hi, everybody. My friends are watching.
Wow! You say hi to your friends. We're live.
Hi, Carlo Tapuhoy. Hi, my friends from Lawaan, Princess, Will, Margie, the rest of the group. I love you so much. Thank you for watching.
What about Miss Alem? Would like to hi to someone?
Akong Check it out. I don't know who's watching, because apparently I shared it to my group. But thank you for all the people who are watching us tonight. At the hosting. Nakikita-bakatunan tonight. Nakikita-chika with Jasmine. Ay, Jasmine? Janice. Oh my God. Walang alam. Go na, wait.
Alright, karon dyan, especially may magwapa kayo o mga guests. At the same time, ilang beauty at yung makita we can also have a lot of takeaways from these individuals. So, a social media personality and a beauty queen. Now, let's start, let's commence this talk with this first question. What do you enjoy most about being part of the LGBT? Who started?
Me? Apparently starting, katong when I really discovered myself, medyo wala na ko siya ma-enjoy. Because kanang feeling, we grew up in a society thinking there's something wrong about us. So at the very beginning, at the very early stage of my discoveries of myself, I thought that there was something wrong within me. And I wouldn't deny that there are a lot of instances where I wanted to correct that because I felt that it was wrong because I was formed and I was trained and I lived in a society where I thought that it was actually wrong. But actually the most enjoyable part of being part of the LGBTQIA+ community is when you genuinely embrace yourself. There was something in me when I discovered and when I owned up to who I am and when I didn't really have to lie about who I am to the world because there's power in enjoying. It's not just joy, there's power in embracing who you are. So, the most enjoyable part would be owning up to who I am and living to my truth.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What about Miss Janice?
I had a similar experience because I grew up as an academic achiever, like honor student every year, and then my mom is like super proud every year at the Shag stage, medal. And then she is also proud that I didn't have a boyfriend because we're like, we grew up in a poor environment, and then your parents, they see hope in you. And then they didn't know that I was secretly dating a girl at that time since high school. And I felt so bad. I felt like there's really something wrong with me. And I wanted to correct that. I remember I talked to the wife of our pastor, and I told her, or I asked her, asa kapit sa Bible nga sala nga kanang LGBT ka. And the wife was not able to answer me. Niya na siya nga, ako sa pangutanon si pastor ha niya inunta ka. Because I always wanted to know nga saan gid siya. So for years I've questioned myself, like grabe nga question niya. Lahi siya depression, anxiety, and I think one of the reasons why kanang academic achiever ko is because I wanted to. I think if valuable ko as a person, they will accept me. Kung kinsa ko, no?
Or there's in relation to that, there's an extra standard na most of the LGBTQIA+ community members are, extra in extracurricular activities and everything. Because I think not because kanang undermine na siguro no talented man jud ang talang tao. Pero like there's there's a certain layer na kailangan ta extra ta kailangan achiever ta ani para kanang ma-patch up ang thinking sa mga tao.
Yes.
Ay LGBT man dahil sa'yo.
Exactly. So more have always nag-prove sa imong self. But then I think the most beautiful part of becoming LGBT or for me I found someone that I will love despite people nga kanang against us. Nya kanang kay bawa ka nga you're into the relationship not just because you want to have a kid or you want financial gain or something. It's because you enjoy the person's company and you're willing to grow with that person. And I think that's one of the most important thing that happened to me when I finally embraced myself. And of course, kanang pagnawa na sa ako nga I care about what other people think about me. Like, wala kang pakialam. What they think about me doesn't matter. What I want right now is to achieve my goals. And I think that's the most important thing that happens is I embraced myself. So,
yeah.
With similar situations like Lodgen with similar experiences, experience they're part of the LGBT community. It's the impact on that. Say, what is it? Based on culture, societal stigma, discrimination.
Para na po, no, they really summed it up well. I mean, Alem, Janice, they mentioned that they experience a form of stigma, discrimination, and perhaps a warped expectation to be someone they're not. And because this expectation is so warped, so twisted, so not them, it actually had a negative effect on them. Imagine you're a straight man and you're expected to be a woman all throughout your life. You're supposed to be a lady, and so on, but that's not you. Even if you try to dress as a lady and so on, it just feels weird and awkward, and it's not your truth. So a lot of people under the LGBT are more likely or more prone to have depression or anxiety, and I think dako kaayo ni siya na factor na dili jud mag-align ang expectations sa society ug sa ilahang truth as a person. Kung saan man nato pugo sa tao to change, kung dili jud na siya, how can you ask a stalk of grass to turn into a beautiful rose if grass and vice versa? Not ko mapugos. So I hope I answered that, bro.
So these are the standards. Anyway, in sociology, we call these standards norms, and if we don't follow these norms, we can be called deviants. So these standards, especially in the Philippines, have become culture. If dili ka mo go align with these standards, batik ka. You have to act. During the Spanish era, we have this concept of Maria Clara, wherein women are judged. You have to act like this. You have to behave like this. You have to answer like this. So dili magsugod ang standards. And this concept mo nag-live ni siya even until karon. So maybe this part of problem gi-face gyapon ni sa itong brothers and sisters sa LGBT community. Lisod kayo siya, di ba, Brother Richard? Lisod kayo siya. Now, basing from the experiences you had, what made it most difficult to come out of the closet? Maybe start from Ms. Janice.
For me, it's the fact nga walay sa family. More dako kayo or ubos siguro ang pagtanaw sa mga parents sa LGBT people, and I have a feeling my mom never expected me on ani ko. And I value my mom's opinion so much because she's my role model, and gusto na ko. I always wanted to please her because she gave up a lot just to raise us. Imagine kanang pobre jud kaayo ba, and then she provided for us. And I don't want her to be disappointed. So I think that's the hardest part. That's why I kept myself in the closet. I hated the closet for a long, long time. And aside from that, although I'm an achiever, I think bisan kinsa na achiever na makarelate nga kanang mura kag na I tendency to please people in authority, especially people pleaser, especially your teachers, and most teachers tells you that it's wrong. So dili ko ganahan nga kanang maglain ang pagtanaw sa ko. So mostly di lang jud ko ganahan nga lain ang perception sa tao sa ko because I'm a people pleaser, and I admit that now. Now that I can admit it, I'm finally okay with whatever they think. Pero at that moment, when you're at that moment, it's so hard to see the bigger picture. So mo to manitago ako. And I think kataonan kayo kay when I was in college, I was a scholar sa USJR. But grabe na ako kakuan, or grabe na ang moabot mo sa point mo ganahan na jud come out of your closet. So natoy one time na nag-film me for our film class, and then akong gibuhat is nag-film ko about LGBT, about lesbian couple, and then si Beatrice Luigi Gomez ang ang gibuhat na actress. But it's like kanang more siya sa ending na gipakita ba nga lesbian film day siya. Pero pag akong pagbaa kay scholar mo ko sa USJR, yung Catholic school, di ba? What if tatang scholarship? Thankfully, wala. Thankfully, padayon ako na scholarship and koan. But at the back of my mind, dili ko ganahan malose ang opportunity nga ihatag kung tanan akong straight ko. Work na ako na fear, tanan nga fear, financial, emotional, physical, kaya usahay, hangkulgaon ba ya ka, ko ano. So, mo siya, those are the things that prohibited me from coming out early.
Pero grabe experience ko, there are most teachers who told you it's wrong. Janice, I'm an educator for years. I teach understanding culture, society, and politics, disciplines and ideas in social sciences, even applied social sciences. And I'll tell you, it's not wrong. It's never wrong.
Thankfully, those teachers are not from USJR. The teachers are like super say they're the best. These people are like from other schools, previous schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
And shout out to all educators watching us. It's yung mabuhay ang tanan. What about you, Miss Alem?
On a macro level perspective, because I have a system to overhaul, what I'm trying to say is that sistema na magulsyadaan. Magika na siya sa micro level, like sa pamilya, sa relationships, katong yung mga Janice kanina, sa mga peers, sa mga friends, sa mga tiya, ang mga marites, mga anak, sa kanang mga tiyo, mga kanang sumbag, so kanang basketball nga to, kanang ana ba. But gawas ana because every one of us is part of a bigger system.
Yeah.
So that was the most challenging part for me, why it was so difficult for me to come out of my closet. But ako man good, dili man good na ako mabago ako ang sistema, ako kawaling sistema. If dili magsugod na. So I didn't really have a coming out story sa akong family. Wala ko na ingon papa, like diba, like before, okay. Actually, I undergone 3 phases sa akong identity. First, because during the time, ang ato ang nailahan, bayot o tomboy, anara. But when I was introduced to the concept of SOGI, sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression, I came to my senses that I was actually a genderqueer during the time. And then eventually, I identified myself as a woman, hence I'm a transgender woman. I identify myself as a transgender woman. I underwent 3 phases. And this indicates that basically your gender is a journey. And this journey is not determined by the standards, by the system, the ongoing system, the norm, the fears that, kanang revolve around sa imuha. And it's basically because, ako mong kinaiyasan nako, kanang kapuyan ko mahadlok. I'm a very anxious person, brought by the existence of the system nga ako ang gilihukan. But ako ang type of person nga, kapuyan ko mahadlok, so if kaya na ko na siya nga ma-eradicate na fear, ako siyang buhaton. So, puto siya, sistema na siya, basically. So, katuloy mo gingon kanang dino nga, kanang basic colonialized manggudjud gihapon ng sistema sa ato. So, natay mga Western concept nga gi-inject sa ato ang mga current ka system sa ato mga practices, which in fact nga dili bitaw ma-contextualize ang ubang mga binuhatan sa langyaw sa atong ang gidakan jud nga kayutaan mo siya. So kanang like as a matter of fact, as for example, before the Spaniards came, women were actually sexually positive. They're very, and we had babaylans where we were able to kanang portray both the function of a woman and a man. So kanang minana ba? So kanang naman tayo mga ligon yun, yung mga kanito natay system before, and we have to deal with that. Kaya mga micro-level ka nang giingon ni Janice nga nahadlok siya sa mga pamilya, people pleaser siya. There's nothing wrong about it because it's brought by, we're all just a product of the system. So yeah.
So we have a lot of foundations before, but we mentioned about the babaylan. Sa una, we've been injected with a new system. How ironic that these Western people have moved on to these issues, but where are we now?
Diba? Ang matter po na siya sa different po na ang mga indicators sa movements LGBTQIA+, community plus kultura natong medyo ito mga eskwelahan kaya Catholic joy, Catholic, so na yung mga instances na lisod storyahan ng SOGI kay ingon lagi daw sa Biblia na babae o laki na ang hihimo sa Ginoo. So lisod siya. Pero like it's not in this lifetime din yung mga perfect but at least for helpful kining ng mga chika putting it out there.
Yes, and to take note ang women they fighting for equal rights long before, and look at them now. Women can drive, women can
vote.
Yes, women can run for office like men. Talking about your situation, yung status sa LGBT, is it difficult for you, or is it normal for someone to tell you, I'm a member of LGBT, or
historically
normal?
Dili man lisod i-announce because we've arrived in a society na okay kanang nanay visibility no. Pero i-contextualize na nato sa pagdawat, sa pagtrata, sa respeto ang gihatag, sa mga things na ginabuhat nila sa imo, ara maguna magdawat. It's not just, transgender ko, lesbian ko. Okay, good, okay, very nice. Pero like, ang pagdawat, kanang the things that we kanang the things that we kanang deal with every day, are we fully accepted, or are we just being tolerated? Kung ano siya.
Sure. What about you, Miss Janice?
For me, as of now, well, di ako maglisod kay out naman ko since 2015 up to 2017, 5 years ago. So if magkaila ka, I don't have to tell you ngayon, Aniko, but you will know because I am out on Facebook. I always bring my girlfriend wherever I am. Kay medyo tanga-tanga naman ko. And I need her to like guide me. So kanang mahibaw na makibaw ng mataw. And whenever people invite me, they always invite her. So it's like wala na ko'y problema. But I have a friend nga para niya lisod kayo if I'm out because she's in the province. And then she is a teacher. And there is this thing na if teacher ka dapat dili ka immoral, mao, diba? Yeah, kay Koan. So she cannot tell anybody nga in anesthesia. She has to keep it a secret. And I feel really bad because I was at I was at that point also in the past. So I really hope na she will be surrounded with people na more understanding because when man nga in Anika, as long as the people around you are kanang kasabot and more aware of this type of the LGBT community. Pero when you're in a community na homophobic tanan, ano siya sakit kaayo. Grabe. So at least sa city kay medyo open-minded na. But in the province, lisod kaayo.
But we will never know, no? Nag-start as a city. Pero we don't know.
You don't know, yes, exactly.
We can never promise tomorrow mo. Kani, one of the platforms na natin ibukan. Diba? And because of that, we would like to say hello to our viewers online. Van Menyoza, hello. We're also going to, recognize Halo. Halo, thank you for the partnership. Riza, hello. Hi, Janice. Where's your friend? Facebook name is Riza. Then Sheila May Trazo. Hi, Jan.
That's my friend. Riza is my sister.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I can't read kayo. Ako good glasses.
They're big fans of Miss Janice. We also have Margie Belen. Hello, good evening. And watching from Taiwan, we have Sheila May Trazo. Watching from San Francisco, Camotes. Hello, Diabay. Sa Camotes. Carly watching from Ormoc. Yes. And shout out to our team here. Nagpa-shout out sila. Our team. Yes. Thank you for the 11,102,112 viewers. Salamat kayo.
Mga hopesters dito. Tawag mo mga hopesters. Charot.
Talking about earlier about societal stigma and discrimination, maybe both of you experience microaggression or maybe micro-invalidation. What are the challenges you face for being a member of the community?
I work in the entertainment industry mostly. Aside from my job here in Smart Sourcing, I also do theater, I also do stints on movies and TV. Na ay mga medyo wrong ang mga portrayal sa transgender women and the LGBTQIA+ community. I cannot deny the fact that sometimes, yes talang ko ani sa mga portrayals because kailangan mag-good. Sometimes, no, in television or in media, we have to stereotype something para mas maka-identify ang mga tao. Ingon na niya iyang look, ingon na di man siya malikayan niya. Kailangan siya itong stereotype because mabagi siya sa character, na siya mga istorya. Pero I think kailangan ta o kanang mas pamuskan pa nato bitaw nga i-orient ang mga tao that ever-evolving ang definition sa LGBTQIA+ community and ever-changing ang roles. Natay mga transgender woman nga who play nga mga ligong sa corporate field, na ay mga businesswoman, na ay mga breadwinners, na ay mga parents na ay mga inana na ay nagginasuportahan, dili lang sila ka ng friendly lang. Although like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, kind of friendly, or pero like, nasi mga, daghan na kayo mga movements karon nga. Nagkapamatuod nga, dili na mao ang mga portrayals dapat because daghan mag-rose. Kaya sad, kaya mo stereotype ikaw tanga sa LGBTQ parlor. Basta, walay kwan ha, walay discrimination sa mga parlor. Marangal na siya ng trabaho, but nahubag siyang gigimo na lang siyang katawanan sa liya. Na where in fact, parlor yes, pero like, provider sa family, provider sa mga igsuon, nakapaskwila, nakapapahuman, kaya na mga inana ba. So, challenges na ko every time also, mabasa ka na musulod ko sa Osaka casting room, I have to defend myself that I'm a transgender woman. I want to go to a place wherein I don't have to say that I'm a transgender woman, I do this, I do that. Because like, for cis women and for cisgender male, they don't go, hey, I'm a straight lawyer, hey, I'm a straight teacher. You don't, I'm a boy president, something like that. You don't do that. It's only in the double standards sa LGBTQIA+ community nga. I'm a transgender woman. The whole point of the LGBTQIA+ movement is not really to make us unique or kind of nami special rights or something. It's about pushing for the fact that we have equal footing in the workplace. Wala na siya sa kuha. So challenge na anak ko nga, yes, transgender woman ko, but I can act, I can perform, I can entertain. So same thing goes sa inyo nga achiever ka. Lesbian, pero ano does it have to do with my capabilities? Yes. Does it have to do with my character? Something like that. And then ako ang challenge.
Basically, with gender, we're going to define your characteristics.
Oh, because gender is gender. So what, diba? Does it have to do with what I can do?
Yes.
Kanina na ba? Murag, diba? So, wala siya.
What about you, Janice?
Yeah, makarelate siya ko sa mga challenges niya, but sa ako na part because I am born a woman, lahi ko expectations ang society sa ako, and one of it is to give birth, dapat mga anak. So, ako papa, usahay, if mag-video call, may magbinuang siya na ako, umana siya na kanang, umana siya nga, di man ka maka-anak, umana siya. Because, makasabot ko, kay sa society mo na to, na sa it's kind of toxic, no? Pero ato agud kay ang anak mo ra nato investment for the future nga para nato ikatiguang nato walay mubitan nato walay buroy nato kung wala tay anak. And ako lahi man kay para nako you don't give birth kung di mo makaya patakon. Your child is not your investment, diba? Kay wala man naingon ang anak nimo ay anak ako kay daw kanang ate panon ko kay tiguang nako ikaw man ang taog anak. So mo na para sa ako. So I don't blame them kay lahi man po ang ilahang kuan, ilahang panlantaw. But I think that's one of the pinakalisod nga challenge for lesbians like me. And I know friends who also has the same challenges na mag-pressure sila nga buwagan ang ilang lesbian na partner kay di sila ka-anak. And I think that's so unfair. Pero at the end of the day, we know ourselves and we know na, for example, ako, I have been a very independent person. I provide for myself, I provide for my family, for my parents, I give them allowance, and then so why do I need a man to take care of me when I can take care of myself, diba? So I think mo na ang pinakadakong nga challenge when people question you because they see that your worth as a woman is connected to a man, which I think is very unfair.
Anong status gani sa Filipino family dyan, for example? Ano gani magkaanak sila, kumunin nila yung hinggaw? Sorry for the term, if I name it correctly. Especially sa what Janice said earlier, sa lesbian community ba? Sa pagkapsulay sa impact sa mental health to play the role of a woman.
Right. Akong nasabtan manggula ako kay na grabe yung expectations to provide, as a woman, to provide children. And the expectation is actually for the children to provide money for the parents. And I agree that can be a toxic trait and perhaps not fair because one, the child did not ask to be born in this world, and ang mahimo, ma-sandwich na siya. Kaya kung nasa iyang kinabuhi,
It's a pursue, of course.
Dili na siya freedom, na siya independence tied down by expectations, and we all know, especially the people sa LGBTQIA+, kung sa bukat ang expectations na medyo dili na jud align sa kinsata pagkataon. So it can be quite heavy. And so what I'm trying to say is it can be quite unfair for the person to be put in this situation. Yet it's being done again and again. And wala kaayo siya gihuna-huna if it's fair or unfair, because mao may normal. Tumong ani atong gibuhat is to actually try and rethink and find our own opinion. We're giving that nudge to rethink. And hinaot, you come to that conclusion that's compassionate to everyone. On akong wish jud, or the cisgender and the rest as well.
Yes. That's the reason why I really salute all my friends or members of the LGBT community who are good breadwinners of their own family. As in your opinion, they've experienced this kind of discrimination and yet they still function.
In relation to what she said, no, namin more you put niya kanang, so now you're breaking the concept of family. Dili mo to be clear, no, to contextualize everything. Mutabang mo dito sa pamilya, because pamilya is basic unit of that one, magiging siya of the society, magiging siya, no. Pero kanang it's wrong when you consider your children as your investments, and not because you want to foster a family and you want to bring forth children with, you know, lahi mo na fulfillment mo, pero like kanya-kanya mo na fulfillment ka. Well, we've arrived in a point in society na kanya-kanya na fulfillment ang mga tao. So, naiuban niya, dili ka na magkaanak, ako di ko na magkaanak. Naiuban niya ka na, who chose not to give birth, pero that doesn't make them less of a man or a woman. Wala na naman i-break ang concept sa family na kay araman dito sa civil code sa mga tao. You're breaking the concept of family, which is very, diba, family-oriented na siya ng mga Pinoy. Kultura na nato, and then, basta ka nang ilang ginagawa nga, you're not capable of bringing forth families, suso ka ng mga babae nga, straight woman, kasal, pero like, dili sila kaanak. So, does that mean nga, i-release po sila, mga sayo po sila sa ilahang kuan? Ano lang na, wala na mag-break ang concept sa family, it's just that dahil kanya-kanyang fulfillment ang nakadaya ng mga tao, and then, it's wrong. It begins to be wrong when you inject the concept na kailangan ng children investment. We're not things, we are not businesses.
Yes.
So, yeah. In fairness po to my parents, no, kaya ako ang papa, hilig siya mag-joke na but the more I become open about myself, the more I see the shift in his thinking. So makaingon siya po nga, if there are more conversations, people can change their perceptions, people can change their minds. Oh, true. And my mom po, she is very different. Dili gid siya like mga yung manis ako, dili siya mga yukuan, but hatag ko sa iya, and she will be thankful if wala po, dinala pa. So most of my thinking siguro nakuha ako sa akong mom. Kaya akong mom, she is the breadwinner of the family, matriarchal ang mga family. So siguro mo sa ngira ko strong, matriarchal man ako ang family. So mo to nga siya po naging sa ako nga never ka dapat magsaling, mga inana. So wala ko yung problema na
abante babae.
Yes.
So good practice mo family daw.
Yes. Lahi jud if mama ni mismo kay kuan. Grabe ako mama. Saan wala no nga like karon sa atong kuan if mga kita for example mga kaedad na ako mga anak, maglistod na pati man sila anak, but itong mama sa una nga list pa kailang trabaho. Nagwag yung mo.
We're like something before, no, compared to...
Sure.
Now let's talk about Soji. Okay. It's sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. On your perceptions, Janice, can you tell everyone about Soji?
Yeah. Kung na siya, simple na siya. What you feel inside is not the same as how you look outside. So, usahay, for example, ako, I'm a lesbian, I look like a girl, but doesn't mean that I am in love with a boy. There are people po who looks like a girl, but doesn't mean nga or who looks masculine, but doesn't mean that they're attracted to feminine partners or something like that. Like, yung mga judging mo man, you cannot judge a person simply by looking at them. So, kaya kuan mo good, karon mo good if like mag-masculine ka, kasi nina mo na sa ay lesbian ka or something like that. Yeah. Sometimes if we explain the terms nga laom, di sila kasabot, and then they just shut their minds. So mo na lang ako so what you see is not exactly who they are. Kaya dapat yun mo sila ila-ilahon, and it's better na di nila mas better para na if di nila ka mamutana unsa sila, because if they're comfortable they will tell you, and mas nindot man diba nga dili na kailangan mo explain things sa ka.
Yeah, and really in relation to what she said, no, Soji na siya, mo yun ang mga tao makanala, you're putting labels, you're complicating things. As a matter of fact, we should be thankful to Soji because Soji doesn't complicate things. It recognizes the fact that diversity really exists to begin with. So Soji, kato in relation siya being on what you see is not always what you get. Sakto to siya. Tulo na siya kabuok sa imuhang pagkatao, imong sexual orientation, imong gender identity, and imong gender expression. Ang sexual orientation nimo, asa ka maibog, asa ka sexually attracted. Pwede na siya lahi sa imong gender identity. Ang imong gender identity, how you identify yourself. So mind na siya, ikaw ang pagdiktaan na imong gender expression, how you express yourself, how you dress up, how you present yourself to the world. Ingon na. Taas-taas ko na siya kachika. That's another episode of Hope TV, mga hopesters. Pero, isa ko na siya kachika, no? Pero, kaya siya, i-clarify na mo, it's not about complicating things. It's about recognizing that diversity really exists. Yeah.
So, basically, Soji is about sexual orientation, who you go to bed with.
Basically that emotionally attracted is, for example, your sexual orientation, asa man ko maibog, asa man ko, butatag, can I say, kung dali na to, let's be sex positive, asa ka mautgan, asa ka ma-arouse, inganana. Your gender identity is different from your sexual orientation. Gender identity is, giunsa nimo paguna-una sa bugalingon, unsa may pagtan-aw nimo sa bugalingon. Your gender expression, how you present yourself. Your gender expression has nothing to do with your gender identity and your sexual orientation, vice versa. Wala na siya, independent na siya from each other. And what you see is not really what you get. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So, muna siya, sometimes, ang mga tao mga good kaili, ka na lagi mga stereotype ka na po sa media. So, marag mo, mga portrayal, mo sa mga sala po sa mga media personality. So, dito siya hisgutan.
Kaayo dyan. Yes, it's really important for the people to be educated with the Soji. And talking about the Soji ba, yes or no question lang. Okay. Is Soji bill really necessary?
It is.
It is.
Okay.
100%.
Perfect. It is necessary. Now, is it okay also to force others from the members of LGBT to be loud and loud?
No.
Can you tell us why?
It's not okay to force someone because, as what I mentioned a while ago, your gender is a personal journey. Daghan mga tao out loud, but that doesn't mean that we're not being loud here because we're encouraging everyone to be loud as well. We're here because we're trying to change a culture for the people who cannot speak. You know, it's different when lahi-lahi mo butang nagkadaiya, like say for example in psychology naman yung mga tao nga kanang lahi-lahi jud o kanang naitirahan ng pahilom na lang nag-uban nga aggressive yun, like uban nga assertive yun. There's nothing wrong with if hilom ka. There's nothing wrong with being saba ka. The wrong thing here is that ang sistema bito nga gina-generate sa sistema nga kung bayot ka or like transgender ka or member ka sa LGBTQIA community, sayot ka, iwan ka, ingonana. It's not okay to force others to be loud because ilaha man your Soji is personal. It's wrong to assume, it's wrong to say nga kani siya bayot ni siya, kani siya kay kung ano siya kay nagpolo siya, mag-blue kay kung ano siya, inani siya, kay nagsayal siya, kay inani siya. It's wrong to assume. So sometimes kanang the best way to address someone and to treat someone is kanang to ask them. So, siya Soji awareness yun siya. At the end of the day, it's about education, it's about immersion, it's about letting people to get to know things.
I totally agree with reason why I don't encourage everybody to be loud and proud is because we don't know what they're going through. We don't know if there are threats. For example, I know people na they are threatened to. Oh, okay, this is very bad, but as far as i-threat sila nga i-rape sila just to make them stay. So, if you are in a situation that is really dangerous, I'd rather you keep your mouth shut until you are in a safe place. Yes, because at the end of the day, your safety is as the priority, diba? So, I am loud and proud because I am in a place right now that I'm financially independent and there's nothing holding me back anymore. So I have that privilege. Sometimes being loud and proud is a privilege. Not everybody has it. Because not everyone has that privilege. So you don't have to force everybody to admit who they are. Okay, we don't know what they're going through inside the house. If there's abuse, we don't know if they're gonna lose their job if they do that, and they have a family to support. So at the end of the day, no.
It's not okay.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay to force everybody.
I would like to emphasize that ba? What are your comments on that, Janice, especially kung issue din sa kadaghanan, for example, kung dili mo out sa closet ang usa, for example, payat ka na siya, mayag ka na siya, because the way he acts is different. What are your comments on that?
Siguro nindot unta kung mas ma-encourage niya yung unconditional acceptance. And I think that can only occur if there is enough education about these things. No? Sakto man kayo ni giingon ni Janice, magod na even access to safety, that psychological safety, dili man gani na siya mahitabo. I have counseled many members of the LGBT, and I even had this one client he appeared as a straight man, but apparently he is attracted to men as well. Iyahang expression lang jud is manly or masculine. Now the concern is he actually is from Mindanao, and perhaps the kind of provincial areas in Mindanao that are quite against being LGBT. And sakto kaayo na these threats, these conversion therapies are all around us. Conversion therapy, FYI, maudaying attempt to convert someone because disease kunuhay na appeal ka sa LGBT. Uibayot ka, sige, at ipugsunti ka para ma-straight ka. And it doesn't work that way because conversion therapy, the premise is actually wrong. Therapy is healing.
Yes.
And you're healing something because perhaps you have a disorder or disease. But the fact is, di ba na disease ang pagka-LGBT? So, sayong na naan yung premise. And if you look at the American Psychological Association, Psychiatric, etc., they actually back this. They are against conversion therapies and the labeling of people's LGBT na sila mental disorder. In fact, they are more vulnerable to mental disorders because of these basic rights na wala na sila access. So it's quite unfortunate. I am a strong advocate of this because I believe na everyone should have these basic rights available regardless unsa yung orientation or expression. Importante kaayo ni siya. And I think this is a side of society na medyo dark, na wala kayo na shed light. But I always believe when we focus on these things, shed light, na-adjun a positive effect. So, na ako, brother.
Equal rights, equal opportunities for everyone. Hashtag break the bias.
March.
Break the bias. Now, final messages lang. Let's start with Alem. What can straight people do to show the support for the community?
Isa niyo siyang pangutanan. Sa tanang mga pangutanan, ano siya pinaka-discord. Pero I think siguro, you provide an avenue where people can start conversations. Wala siguro. Because it's impossible to let, accept ba yun ka, lisod siya pasabton, especially magikan din sa sistema, no? You provide an avenue where people can have a safe space to tell their stories, to converse, to tell, basically to just be themselves, and to provide an avenue where they don't really have to explain much about who they are. Just let them. Wala siguro na for now. Ako ang message sa ila. Also, thank you sa JCI Cebu and Dee and Chen for having us. Kanina na siguro provide an avenue where we can have conversations. So thank you so much, JCI, for providing this conversation. This one way or another, a way of changing the system.
Thanks.
Janice.
For me, in addition to what Alem said, siguro to stay away from homophobic comments, jokes, or anything like that. Okay, for example, this is something cultural, and I even have a hard time trying to stop myself doing this. But every time we see someone na talawan, we usually say bayot man ka, no?
Remarks.
No, when in fact, if bayot ka, ikaw ang pinaka-strong ka, you still look fabulous, despite kung saan gusto sa mga tao sa mga. So I think what straight people can really do is to try to stay away from these types of comments. And parang nila joke ra maguntahan nila wala, but it hurts, if you're part of the LGBT community. And just to be sensitive in general, think about the repercussions of your words before it comes out of your mouth. Okay, those words can hurt, and it takes years sometimes to heal from these wounds. So maorar ko siya.
Kani final message niyo sa inyong brothers and sisters in the community who are out and proud, and those individuals who are still in the closet.
You own your journey. You have your journey, and your journey is imuha na siya. Nobody can take that away from you. Sa kanta pa ni Mariah Carey. Can take that away.
Sample naman.
Nobody can take your journey away from you. It's yours. Enjoy it just as much as you don't really have to be loud. You don't really have to broadcast it. Take your time. Embrace it, because there's nothing wrong with being a member of the LGBTQIA+ community. We're all normal, and yes, LGBTQIA+ rights are human rights. So yeah.
Yes, Ms. Janice. I should
Go on to my proud friends. I hope you become an inspiration to others who are still in the closet. I hope you provide them safe space to talk about their struggles, and lahing mo ganin natin kaila ba nga out niya ikaw na sa closet. Kay when you tell them about your story, they've been there, so they can relate and they can tell you how to get out of that predicament. So I hope you become that person. I hope you become the beacon of light, something like that. Silver lining. And for my friends who are still in the closet, don't worry, the time will come when you will be brave enough to come out, and then when that time comes, I promise you that's the most amazing thing that will ever happen to you. Yes. So until that day comes, I will be here, and if you need someone to talk, you can message me on Facebook. I will talk.
Yeah. This is one of the flagship projects of JCI Cebu, and if you want to be part of JCI Cebu, we're an all-male organization where we develop young professionals, businessmen, and someone who can make a great impact on the society. We have this grand opportunity to impact. This will happen on July 1st. That will be Friday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. It will happen in Syria, Michelangelo, 1 Paseo Saturnino, Maria Luisa Road, Banilad, Cebu City. You can actually go to JCI Cebu FB page and register there, right? Our form is available. So we are accepting new brothers in the house. We welcome you there, and we will see you on July 1st. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes our episode for tonight. We would like to thank, of course, our resident mental health expert, Brother Philip Chantan, still with us, and our two special guests this evening, Ms. Alem Garcia. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for wasting your time. And of course, Ms. Janice Marsada.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Folks, don't let your luggage define your travels, because each life unravels differently. In this journey we call life, we all have differences. May it be in choices, preferences, and wants. let us all be reminded to be in a place in the world where people can engage in one another's differences. Not afraid to be their own selves in a way that is redemptive, full of hope, and possibility that despite everything, we can still live harmlessly and harmoniously for a better, safer world for everyone. Again, this episode is brought to you by JCI Cebu, Gestalt Wellness Institute, and Smart Sourcing for this amazing place. Thank you so much. This is your host, Benji Montermoso. See you again on soon. Wait for further announcement. Stay tuned for another session of or another episode of Hope TV. Good night and be a blessing, everyone.
Gestalt Wellness Institute was founded in 2012. I created Gestalt Wellness Institute in the thought that I would like to bring mental health and Gestalt therapy here in the Philippines. We created a space where they can be safe, where they can express themselves, where they can be empowered and help themselves. And I believe that with this capacity that we have, we will be able to help more people, especially those who are going through things that not everybody can understand. I hope that whatever you are feeling right now, wherever you are, and however you're feeling, we'll be able to reach out to us and lend you a hand to find a place where things will get better.
Hi, my name is Maisa Narvas, or you can call me Sael. You can actually be yourself here and they still will support you. Whatever, whoever, or wherever you are.
I'm Janice. The people are very warm. For some reason, I think it's because they are also happy with their work and it affects how they treat other employees as well. So how they feel about their work, how they treat others also is a projection of how happy they are with their work.
My name is Denis Villanueva. This is where I've first experienced to travel alone internationally. They posted my face into our vans as well, with my colleagues, my friends would really take a selfie that they have someone famous running around the city.
I'm EJ Cuevas. Nakaka-proud yung teammates ko because napaka-collaborative nila, very passionate and creative. They're making my job so much easier. They inspire me to be the best version of myself.
My full name is Azel Joy Alfarero, but they call me Joy here. Looking back 5 years ago, I was just that little girl who is so quiet, always afraid of failing. But now, I see the progress. I see how I've become because of smart sourcing. Yeah, I feel so proud about that.
Hi, my name is Joe. Have you ever had that feeling where you're having a very bad day? Nothing seems right? Whenever I feel that way, and when I arrive here in Smart Sourcing and meet the people, your day instantly changes. It's like that for me every day. That's how lovely it is working here at Smart Sourcing.
Hi, I'm Dodgelin Dandan. I want to highlight how very appreciative they are and they really listen to what you have to say. Work for me is very cool and it's exciting. When I wake up every day, I look forward to working.
Hi, my name is Mitch Lariego. I'm a team lead. Every time you start working, it's not a burden. Like every day you're not going to drag yourself, go to work. It's just like you're going to have that feeling that you're happy going to work every day.
I'm Hervin Jantihano. Nakita dyan ako unsa sila ka kugihan, naghuna-una sila mga kauban, ila yung gihatag tanan ang ilang best.
I'm Aya. I'm the art director of Comms and Creative Team. First thing comes to mind, it's basically how I get to co-create with my teammates. I get to have this happiness and gratefulness and joy, have fun and be productive and always know your purpose. Apparently, I found my purpose here at Smart Sourcing.